Okay. So the next kind of relationship is master detail relationship. So we already have learned about the lookup relationship, and then the few more customizations like how to customize the lookup dialog box and what exactly lookup filter criteria. So that is all what we have studied, in the last lecture. Now let's start with the new kind of relationship with the master detail relationship. So what exactly is the master detail relationship, and what are the few considerations whenever we set up this kind of relationship between the two objects? So that we are going to see, first let's do it in a practical way. So I already have told you, see, whenever we wanted to create a relationship, the first step is like we must identify among the two objects which one is the parent, which one is the child. And this relationship field, whether it's a lookup or the master, the relationship fields are always created on the child object. So remember that. So let's go with this use case that we wanted to configure a master detail relationship between the position and the candidate. So let's analyze this, let's analyze among the position and the candidate, which should be the parent and which should be the child. So the after the positions are something, positions are something on which the candidates are going to be get applied. Candidate will put their resume, candidate would actually submit their candidature against some sort of positions. Because if there is no position, there is no meaning to have the candidates. There is no meaning to recruit the candidates, because the recruitment will be done against some positions. So now, according to this particular importance, I got this hierarchy that position should be the parent and the candidate should be the child. Although remember, in the real-time development, you always have a document where everything has been written very clearly that you require to create the position object, and then you require to create the candidate object. The position object must have all those fields and the candidate must have all these fields. And then we need to create a relationship wherein, position should be the parent and candidate should be the child. Everywhere the things had been written, absolutely clear. But I just wanted you to develop a strategy. I just wanted every one of you to understand this fact, how the people, those who are sitting in the senior management, they actually decides, okay, which should be the parent and which should be the child. And that is why I'm discussing this all this with you guys. Otherwise, don't worry, you never in the real time, you never in the as a beginner, you never decide being in the two object which should be the parent and the child. It's always the job of the people, those who are module lead and something like that. They will decide it, this object should be the parent and the child, and they will prepare a document for that. That document is being shared to you, and you are actually required to work according to the things that are mentioned inside that document. Okay, so we need to create a master detail relationship between the position and the candidate. So let's first of all go with the schema builder, and let's see whether, let's have these two objects on the canvas. That is all thing what I want. So in the custom object, I even have position and the candidate. Okay, these are the two objects. So right now, you can see that there is no such relationship between the position and the candidate. Okay, there's no such relationship between the position object and the candidate object. So let me create a relationship then. So relationship, if at all I wanted to create a relationship, we must go to the child object, and the child object in this case is candidate. So let's go to the candidates object. Let's expand the force.com quick access menu. And then when the in front of view field, we have a new field option. So go to the new field, and from the relationship section, right now you need to create select the option for creating the master detail relationship. You see, whenever you actually come to this page, certain things has been written over here. Okay, just try to read it once. At least try to read it once. There are so many theoretical parts which actually I have taught you. They have been taken from here also. Some of the portion has been taken from here also, everywhere. So whenever you come to this page, just please stay on the page and try to see what is the thing that has been written over. Like the property of this, the property of these data types, it has been mentioned. What this field is actually being used for. What is the data type of this? What this field can be used? What is the use? What is the purpose of this field could be inside your user interface? So these are few of the things that has been written. हम लोग generally क्या करते हैं? We just see this part and whatever has been told to us, we do that and then click the next button, and we usually skip that. Don't develop this tendency. Don't develop this. You are onto the learning phase right now. You are onto the learning phase, right? So in this phase, what is expected, that whatever you get to learn, you should at least see it once. So that is why I'm telling you to develop one of the practice, that if you come to this page, just yeah, select to karna hai, but what has been written on the right hand side for this particular field, just read it once. It's a good practice. It is going to help to enhance your knowledge about that particular thing. Okay, so make this habitual. Chalo, आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next, then this object position. So the candidate, you are making the candidate has to be the child. Who will be the parent? So parent will be your position. Let me from this particular list, let me select the position object. Position will be the parent. Next, click the next button. Field name, what you wanted to give. I just wanted to have the same name on the field. Position, if you wanted to give any description or rather head, let's go with that. I'm just going with the default selection, what has been mentioned over there. So click the next button, click the next button, and finally save it on the layout. So it's giving you one error. It's giving you one error. Why? It's giving you one error. You cannot create a master detail relationship on the existing custom object if the records already exist. If the record already exists, if some of the records, if the old record already exists, you cannot create a master detail relationship. You cannot create a master detail relationship if the child object contains some of the previous records. If the child object contains some of the previous record, now I can see that child, this object candidate is having one of the record called Suresh Tripathi. Let me come back to the description first and let me show you something. Upon creating a master detail relationship, if the child object contains some of the previous records, that means old records, then the master detail relationship cannot be created. Because inside our object also, the candidate object, it's having one of the record of previous record. So we are unable to create the master detail relationship. But then this was not the case with the lookup relationship. Let me come back to that discussion. Lookup relationship can be formed between the two objects, even if the child object is having some of the previous record. That time I told you, let's identify this point, because this will be point of difference, point of difference between the lookup and the master detail relationship. So if the child object have some previous records, some old records, in case if you are creating a lookup relationship, it won't bother you. Salesforce won't stop you. It will definitely create a relationship, lookup relationship rather. But then, so अभी जैसे कि हमने देखा कि our child record was having some of the records, probably 1, 2, 3, something, 1,000, 10,000, whatever. If an object is having some of the records, old record, then you cannot create a master detail relationship straightforward. So what is the way to do that? There are two possible solutions. There are two possible solutions. The solution number 2 is the more practical solution. Okay, but this I'm actually imposing. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now about the number 1 solution, but that is something you cannot do. I mean, that is something you should not do. You shouldn't do that in the real time practice. Solution number 1. नहीं करना है actually अपने, but अभी कैसा है कि we don't have an option, so we are although going with this solution, we are going with this strategy, but then this is something we shouldn't do in the real time as in practice. What I'm going to do is that I'm just going to remove the child records and I'm making the object to be the empty. That means I'm deleting the whole record. I'm deleting everything what is present inside the child object. I'm going to delete everything, every record. I'm going to delete every record which is present inside the child object. But we shouldn't do that. Although I'm going to do this thing, but actually we shouldn't do that. नहीं करना चाहिए हमें, ठीक है? तो नहीं करना चाहिए तो क्या करना चाहिए? The solution 2 is for the answer. तो ठीक है, वो बाद में देख लेंगे what is that, because उसके लिए conversion वाला part आता है. तो अभी आप कैसा कि आप वहां तक नहीं पहुंच पाए. but we are going to cover that also. I mean, at the end of topic, we are going to see how to convert the relationship type from one to another. The solution 2 is actually a practical solution. Whenever we stuck around this kind of problem, we follow these strategy, the strategy which has been mentioned in the solution number 2. Okay, अभी तो मैंने क्या किया है कि to make the object to be empty, I have deleted the record. I have deleted everything whatever present inside the child, but this shouldn't be done. You know, this shouldn't be done. ये नहीं करना चाहिए आपको. Let me once again go back and create the same thing. So inside the candidate object, let me create a new field, a relationship field. What kind of relationship? Master detail relationship. Select the master detail, click the next button. I wanted this object to be get associated with the position object. Click the next button. Then select the label has to be the position itself. Go with the default selection. Then click the next button. Click the next button once again, and then save it. So now, because the object is empty, you know, we don't have anything inside the candidate object. See, the object doesn't have any record, so we are able to create a relationship. The relationship field has been created inside the custom fields and relationship section. You will be able to find, you will be able to locate this. See, master detail with the name called as position. So let's go to the position object, and if I press this new button, you know, now I could see one of the field whose name is position. But what is the difference? See over here, you know, so let's compare it with your position object. Position is also child, you know, position is child to hiring manager, candidate is child to position. So let's compare this with the hiring manager. So this is also relationship field, and this is also a relationship field. But here I could see that this has been made as to be compulsory. Here you see this is compulsory field, and here it is not compulsory. And yesterday we have discussed that. Okay, in case of the lookup relationship, the lookup field is not mandatory field. It's not a required field. That means if you are saving a record inside this object, you know, with this interface, if you are storing a record, either you could select the parent, either even without selecting the parent, you are able to save the record. That means in case of lookup relationship, you know, this one is a lookup relationship field. And this we already have discussed yesterday, but let me revise this point. So in case of this lookup relationship, you know, a child object could have a parent, else it couldn't have a parent. That's not going to stop you for saving the record inside the child object. Definitely, it won't stop you. So probably yesterday we created a record which doesn't have any parent. Let me display it over here itself. So along with the name, I wanted to display contact number, or probably just hiring manager. We'll go with that. See, this is one of the record called as sales manager. We don't have any parent, and sales manager doesn't have any hiring manager. That means this record doesn't have any parent record associated with it. So it's okay. It's absolutely okay. There's no problem in that. With the lookup relationship, it's absolutely fine. Right. Let's come back to this. Let's refresh this so that we could see the relationship. How does it looks like? Now see with this maroon line or whatever the color this is. Now we could see that this relationship has been formed. You know, a relationship has been formed between these two objects, position and the candidate. Now you see the position is the parent, one to many. One is always parent, many is always child. So one to many. So we will actually, whenever we describe this relationship, we will first take the name of the candidate, then position. Because if I put my cursor over here, you could see the same thing. It's a master detail relationship from what? Candidate to the position. Candidate to the position. Okay. So I was discussing this fact that whenever we go to a lookup relationship, this relationship field is a bit optional field. That means if you wanted to have a parent for the record, you could have it. Otherwise, without having a parent, you could save the record inside the object. Inside the object position, I have saved one of the record sales manager. And this object, this record sales manager doesn't have any hiring manager to be associated with this. But this cannot be done with the master detail relationship. So master detail relationship, first of all, the field, this master detail, this particular relationship field is actually a mandatory field. It's a required field. And if at all you wanted to store a record inside this object, along with other fields, you should select the parent record for this. Otherwise, you won't be able to save the record, right? So let's see some of the observations. So first of all, upon mapping the relationship, it actually provides one-to-many relationship that we already have seen with the schema builder. This problem we already have tackled with this solution, but this is not the right way to do that. I'll tell you what exactly is the right way. Whenever you are creating a relationship, a master detail, and if you find that child object is having some of the previous record. So what is the proper way to handle this? I'm going to tell you later, but later, not right now. Now, in case of the master detail relationship, the relationship field is a required field. That means whenever you are storing a record inside the child, every child must be associated with a parent. Without selecting a parent, you cannot store the record. In a master detail relationship, the reparenting option is not available by default. There are a few things that you need to. Whenever a parent record is deleted, the child is also get deleted. Let's see that. We are going to see that. And the sharing security setting of the child is completely dependent. In the lookup, it was independent, but here it is dependent on the parent. Okay. And in case of a master detail, the child could be associated with 2 parents only. But in the lookup, it could be associated with the 40 parents, 40 parents. Okay. And the real roll-up summary is something which can only be created on the master detail relationship. And one more important thing, in case of the master detail relationship, the parent could be the standard or the custom. The child could only be the custom. That means your standard object, I cannot make a standard object as to be the child object. This is one of the, something which we, this is not flexible. And it's not a flexible thing like in the lookup relationship. Because in the lookup, you can make a standard object as a child, as a parent also. But here it is something different. There are a few considerations. Okay, whenever we are creating a master detail, standard object could only and only be the parent. You cannot make standard object as to be the child object. In case of its master detail, तो ये कुछ differences हैं जिसको आपको create करना है, and you should actually, आपको ध्यान में रखना है इस चीज को, पढ़ना है, differences create करना है. Now let me create a record. For example, if there is a record called as like Samir Khan. Samir @test.com. Let me give the contact number also. 557 and the location is Hyderabad. Current CTC is probably 600,000, 10,000 lakh. And then passport number is something like, this. Let me copy the same thing in the PAN number. Expected is something around 10 lakhs, 100,000, 10,000 lakh, 10 lakh. Here the experience is probably 5 years. Notice period is immediate. Okay. And then the kind of skills that this person Samir is having, like C++, .NET. He's good in Java and this also. So he has all this technical skills. The qualification is MTech. Let me now save this report. It will give me error. Why? Because without selecting the position, without selecting the parent, I couldn't save the record. So this was a difference. This is one of the difference between the lookup and the master detail. So whenever in case of master detail, if you at all you wanted to store a record, you should select the parent. That is a compulsory thing. So Mr. Samir is being applied for which position? Let me show you that. So here is the lookup dialog box with all these positions. So he's applying for the software tester, a manual software tester. So let me now save the record. Now we have created the record. See, okay. So now we created this record. So whenever we go for a master detail relationship, the master detail is a little bit rigid sort of thing, and there are a few considerations that are very strict. First of all, this field is a required field. Okay, and that means you should select the parent. Without selecting the parent, you cannot store the record. Then the child could be associated only with 2 parents, not more than that. Standard object could only be the parent object. It cannot be a child object. And then child sharing and the security is completely dependent on the parent's setting. Child doesn't have its own independent setting. It's completely dependent on the parent. Okay, so this was the thing. Now let's go. Yeah, now because you now have these 2 considerations, आपके पास दोनों observations है. The observations related to your lookup relationship and the things related to the master detail. Now I want every one of you to create a difference between this lookup and the master detail relationship. Okay, so everyone please create a relationship differences and please post it in the group as well, so that you know कि आपने क्या बनाया है क्या है दूसरों के साथ share भी होता है. It's a good thing. Now let me start with the next concept, and that's many to many relationship. Okay, so let me create a diagram for that, or probably I already have created. Let me see for your batch, you know, for your batch probably I already have created one of this diagram. Relationship concepts. Let me show this. ठीक है. Let me make few of the modifications so that you know you could understand that. Rather create new. Let me create a new diagram. Straightforward. Anyways. So we have these two objects with us. One of them is like book, the second is author. Let me explain you what is a many to many relationship in terms of these two objects. So this book object have, you know, like ID, the name of the book, and then could be like number of the pages and the price. Okay. So this is one of the object, like book object. Let me create one more object. Second object over here is the author object. The second object is the author object. So let's give few labels to this. So here this object is your book object. So this is my book object, and this is my author object. Okay. So book object have the fields like there are a few fields like the ID, the name of the book, would be like price, and then number of the pages. Your author object do have some fields like the first field over here is the ID, the name of the author, and then could be, you know, the location. Just give me 1 second. That's important call. Okay, so these three are the columns inside the author object. One more column I've created is going to be used. Don't worry. So let's now let me create few of the entries inside both of the objects. So let's create the record. So yeah. So the ID is probably like 001. Okay, the ID is 001, and then we have a record. ID is 001. Then the name of the book is something like Java programming. Okay, this is the name of the book, Java programming. And then the price of this book is somewhere around like dollar would be $700. Number of the pages could be like 1,000 pages. Then I have another record. I have another record 002. This is software testing, and the price is approximately somewhere around $500. And then $500, and then let me first of all create the record, which is essential. If I won't create a record, you won't be able to understand this example. So it's somewhere around 500 pages. Then we have a record, another book 003, a book called as electrical engineering. So dollar probably 900, and then number of the pages is somewhere around 1200 pages. Then I have 004, a book called as something like OOPS concept. OOPS concept, and this book is somewhere around probably $600, and number of pages is could be like 900. Then we have a book, one more entry I would like to create. Something like Apex programming. Apex programming. So this book is around $500. Then number of pages could be like 370 pages. Take it. So now I have all these records with us. I have all this record. Try to rather let it be. With this anyway, so I have all these records inside the book object. Let me now create few of the records inside the author object also. So then there are few of the authors having 201 is the ID. Name of the author is Ravi Kumar, and the location is Bangalore. Okay. Then there's an author 202, Suresh Tripathi, is from probably Delhi. Then we have an author 203, Swati Sharma, and she's probably from Nagpur. Then we have an author 204, Anil Kumar. He is probably from Hyderabad. So next we have 205, author called as probably Akash, and he is from probably Pune. Okay, so that's it. So I have created few of the entries inside both of the object, few of the records. Let me create the associations also, so that we will be able to understand this. Now see, let's take this as a fact that this book, Java programming, Java programming has been written with Akash. Akash has written this book. This book has also been written. This book has also been written with the Swati Kumari. And this could be possible, ऐसा हो सकता है. Of course, one title has been written with so many authors. It's up to you कि आप कोई जब book लेते हो तो आप कौन से author की book लेना चाहते हो. That's really up to you. But yeah, one title, one same title could be written with so many different authors. That is not an issue. The next book is software testing. So software testing has been written with Ravi Kumar. Software testing is also being written with the Anil Kumar. Then the next book is electrical engineering. Electrical engineering has been written, with Suresh Tripathi only. This is the only author who has written this book. The next book is OOPS concept. So OOPS concept has been written by the Akash. The OOPS concept has also been written with the Anil Kumar also. And Apex programming. The next book is your Apex programming. So Apex has been written with the Akash only. Okay. Okay. So this is what the thing is right now. We could see that this is the present situation. I could see this is my present situation. Now see. Now we wanted to map a relationship between these two objects. ठीक है, scenario पे अब बात करेंगे. We wanted to map a relationship between these two objects. So if at all I wanted to create a relationship, what is the step number one? Yes, you can unmute yourself. You have the command. Yeah. If at all I wanted to create a relationship between the between the two objects, what is the first step? Come on, guys. What's the first step?
To identify which one is child and which one is parent.
Exactly. Which one is the parent, which one is the child, you should identify. Chalo. So among these two objects, book and author, let's identify this from your end. अब आप बताओ मुझको इन दोनों में से मैं किसको पैरेंट लूं, किसको चाइल्ड लूं? बुक एंड ऑथर में से किसको पैरेंट लेना चाहिए मैंने, किसको चाइल्ड? चलो, let's take book as to be the parent for an instance. Okay, let's take book as to be the parent. Let's take book as to be the parent object. Let's for a while consider book as to be the parent object. Okay, let's consider for a while that book is the parent object. If book is the parent, this means your author is what? The author is the child object. Okay, the author is the child object. If book is parent, your author should be the child. Okay, go with this possibility. Let me now save this record as many to many. So let's go with this fact. Let's consider that your book object is the parent object and the author object is the child object. Okay. So we know this. Whenever we wanted to create a relationship, the relationship fields are always created inside the child object. So I have created one of the field over here. This is one of the column. Okay. So let's go with this possibility. So let's consider that author is the child object. Inside the author, let me create a one more field with the name called as book ID. Book ID. Okay, I'm creating a field called as book ID. Inside the child object, I'm creating a field called as book ID. Okay, what is it will going to store? It will obviously going to store this the object, the books record, the book objects ID. ठीक है, यही store करेगा इसमें. चलो. So for this record, Ravi Kumar. Let's see that Ravi Kumar is actually associated with whom? Ravi Kumar is associated with software testing. Ravi Kumar is associated with the software testing. Okay, that's great, no problem. Ravi Kumar is associated with the software testing. तो चलो ये अच्छी बात है. So Mr. Ravi is being associated with the software testing, no problem. Let me go with like this. So for the Ravi Kumar, who's the parent? Parent is software testing. The ID is 002. So let's store 002 over here. Let's come to the next. That is Suresh Tripathi. Okay. Suresh Tripathi. Suresh Tripathi is associated with the book called as Electrical Engineering. Okay. Suresh Tripathi is associated with the book Electrical Engineering and the Electrical Engineering code is 003. Okay. 003 is the parent ID for Suresh Tripathi. ठीक है. अभी तक कोई प्रॉब्लम हमको नजर नहीं आ रहा है. ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. Everything seems to be good. That's great. Let's come to Swati Kumari. Swati Sharma. Swati Sharma is being associated with Java programming. That means Swati has written Java programming. Okay. So Java programming book code is 001. 001. Okay. That's really great. नीचे चलते हैं. The next is Anil Kumar. So Anil Kumar, when we come to Anil Kumar, see one thing. Anil Kumar is being associated with software testing. That means Anil Kumar has written two books. One of them is software testing. The another book he has written is the OOPS concept. Now, if here, here I wanted to store the ID, parent record ID for the Anil Kumar. The first thing I could see that Anil has written a book called as software testing. See, Anil has written a book called as software testing. And software testing, like the code is 002, so I should written 002. But then one more thing I found out over here is that Anil has also written one more book called as OOPS concept. And the idea of OOPS is 004. 004. But I cannot store it like this. 004. No. I cannot do that. Why? Because see, this particular relationship field can store only one records ID. Parent एक ही parent है. मैंने कहा ना child में नहीं रह चलता है. Parent should be one. This child, if Anil Kumar is the child, it must have only one parent. Anil Kumar must have only one parent. Like Ravi Kumar, no, your Ravi Kumar is having only one parent. Ravi Kumar is having only one parent. What is that? 002. Suresh Tripathi is having only one parent. 003. Swati Sharma is having only one parent. 001. But when in the case of Anil Kumar, I could see that there are two parent records for this. In case of Akash also, in case of Akash also, if I come to the Akash, so Akash is also having this. Akash has written this Java programming 001 and Akash has written Apex programming 005. Again, there are multiple entries that are coming, again, there are multiple entries that are coming over here. And this is not allowed. This is not allowed because every child, every child must only have one parent. So we cannot do it like this. We cannot do it like this. तो इससे हमको एक चीज जो समझ में आ रही है, the thing what we can assume is that we cannot make author as to be the child object. We cannot make author as to be the child object because we cannot, we cannot have this multiple entries inside the relationship field. It must always be unique. Every child must have only one parent. Parent could have multiple child. That's a different story. But from if I'm looking from the child ends, child के end से अगर मैं देखता हूँ, तो child must have only one parent. Child must have only one parent, and that is the base of relationship concept. The relationship association is always one to many. One from the, one is parent, many is the child. तो मैं अगर parent के end से देखता हूँ तो parent को कितने भी child रहे चलता है, but अगर child के end से देखता हूँ, if I'm looking from this end, child's end, तो चाइल्ड के एंड से पेरेंट्स कितने होने चाहिए, ऑलवेज वन, जैसे कि रवि, सुरेश और स्वाति की केस में था. बट व्हेन आई कम टू द अनिल कुमार, बिकॉज अनिल कुमार इज एसोसिएटेड विद टू डिफरेंट पेरेंट्स रिकॉर्ड, दैट मींस कि वी कैन नॉट स्टोर टू पेरेंट्स ओवर हियर. नहीं कर सकते आप. वी कैन नॉट डू दैट. वी कैन नॉट डू दैट. चलो ठीक है, ये नहीं कर सकते तो लेट्स वर्क आउट विद द वाइस वर्सा पॉसिबिलिटी. ठीक है, आई नाउ वी अंडरस्टैंड दैट वी कैन नॉट मेक दिस ऑथर एज टू बी द चाइल्ड. We cannot make author as to be the child, है ना. आप author object को you cannot make the author as to be the child object. चलो, if you cannot do that, है ना, and you cannot make book as to be the parent, तो let's work out with the vice versa possibility. ठीक है, दूसरा possibility try करते हैं. Let's make book as to be the child object. Let's make your book object as to be the child object. Second possibility, and let's make author as to be the parent object. So let's make author as to be the parent. Let's try to solve this with the second possibility. ठीक है, पहली possibility आपने try करके देख लिया. You were getting the multiple entries over here, and you were getting the multiple entries inside the relationship field, and relationship field couldn't have multiple entries. It's not possible. Salesforce won't allow you to have that. Why? Because the concept says that child should have only one parent. If these are the fields that represent who is the parent. For the Ravi, who is the parent? 002 is the parent. For Suresh Tripathi, who is the parent? 003 is the parent. For Swati Kumari, who is the parent? 001 is the parent. But in case of this, when I come to Anil Kumar is having this 002 as well as 004 as well as 004. This shouldn't be happen. This shouldn't be happen because this is actually violating this is actually violating the rule of relationship. What the relationship says, every child must be associated with only one parent. Parent could have multiple child. वो उसके एंगल से नहीं देख रहे हैं. We are looking from the perspective of the child. तो जैसे ही यहाँ multiple entries आया, immediately Salesforce won't allow you to do that. So we finally conclude that I cannot make book to be the parent and author to be the child. Let's try to solve this with the vice versa possibility. Let's now make book as to be the child and author to be the parent. चलो, अगर हम ये possibility पे काम करते हैं, तो relationship fields are always created inside the child object. We know that, right? So let me create a field over here. मैं यहाँ पे create कर देता हूँ. Let me create one more field over here. Because relationship fields are always created inside the child object. So I created a field over here. Okay, I created a field over here. And let's me give this name. The name of the field is to be like author ID. Now, because your author is the parent, so let me give this as to be name as to be author ID. ठीक है, चलो अब इसके ऊपर काम करते हैं. Let's work for the Java programming. Java programming book के लिए काम करते हैं, and for the Java programming, let me see. So Java programming book has been written with Swati Kumari. The code of Swati Kumari is 203. But Java programming has also been written with what? Java programming has also been written with Akash. The code is 205. पहली possibility में आप fail हो गए. Again the same thing. For every child record, there must be only one parent. There must be only one parent. जैसे कि अगर मैं Apex के केस में जाता हूँ, if I go with the case of Apex, तो Apex programming, this book has only been written with Akash 205. Here it works. Here it works. Here it works. Why? Because this child Apex programming has only one parent 205. Rest of everywhere else, everywhere else, if you try with the second possibilities, if you try with the second possibilities, if you go with the software testing, see, software testing has been written by Ravi Kumar 201 slash which one? Ravi Kumar. Software testing has also been written by Anil Kumar 204. Okay. And second, electrical engineering book has been written with only one author 202. Here it works. Here it doesn't create any ambiguity. But rest of the cases, the OOPS concept has been written by Anil Kumar in the Akash 204 and 205, 204 oblique 205. So this is not going to be allowed. Okay, this is not going to be allowed. Once again, finally we come to this conclusion that I cannot even make the book to be the child and author to be the parent. Okay, so how come we solve this kind of problem? तो अभी यहाँ पर एक कंक्लूजन मैं लिखने सभी को बोल रहा हूँ. एक क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, एक क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है आप सभी से, मॉक में पूछेंगे, इंटरव्यू में भी पूछेंगे. Why should we go for many to many relationship? Why should we go for many to many relationship? What is the purpose? See, if we already have, if we already have hierarchical relationship, we have lookup relationship, you already have this external lookup, you have this master detail relationship, and if these all relationships are already there inside the Salesforce. See, many to many and one to one, these are something which is we actually created additionally. Let me tell you. और एक चीज बताऊं, ये कोई नहीं पढ़ाता है. मैं ऐसे तारीफ के हिसाब से नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. This is a fact. Many to many and one to one, because they are not the straightforward relationship. Actually, they are not even, they are the direct relationship in the Salesforce. We indirectly create that. No one actually used to teach this. But ये आते हैं real time पे, you got this problem. Then if you don't know about many to many and one to one, you will probably never ever you will be able to solve the problem. ठीक है, ये कोई नहीं पढ़ाता. Let me tell you this fact. Let me now chalo. So this is one of the interview question also. If you say, first of all, you say that altogether there are 6 kind of relationship. पहली बात तो आप ये बताओगे कि there are 6 kind of relationship. कौन से relationship? Lookup, external lookup, external lookup, master detail, hierarchical. These are the direct relationships. They are there into the Salesforce. Now, apart from these 4 relationship, we have that much of knowledge that we know how to create many to many and one to one. समझ रहे हो आप? इस तरह से आंसर देना है आप. If you wanted to get yourself selected within 2 to 3 interviews, मैं जैसा बोलता हूँ वैसा करो please. For these 3 to 4 months है, that 3 to 4 months आने वाले, आप प्लीज वही फॉलो करो जो मैं आपको बोल. प्लीज फॉलो दैट ओनली. ठीक है, आप बिल्कुल भरोसा करो आप मेरे ऊपर, और मैं जैसा बोल रहा हूँ वैसा करो आप. सो क्वेश्चन आएगा कि do you know about the relationship? Are you comfortable? Answer is yes, I'm comfortable in that. Second question, how many different types of relationships? Start with the count. Don't start with theory. Start with the count. Start with the count. Sir, there are 6 relationships. There are altogether 6 different type of relationships. The moment when you say the 6, तो वो थोड़ा सा ना वो एकदम से वो हो जाएगा. क्या बोलते हैं उसको, मतलब एकदम थोड़ा सा शॉक होगा, थोड़ा सा ध्यान देगा आपके ऊपर. You bring the attention towards him. क्योंकि आपसे पहले 6 नहीं बताया किसी ने. 3 बताने वाले बहुत लोग थे, 4 बताने वाले भी थे, 6 बताने वाले शायद आप ही पहले. तो जैसे आप 6 बोलोगे तो फिर now he will say, okay, ठीक है, tell me how many different types of relationship. तब आप स्टार्ट करोगे lookup, external lookup, master detail, hierarchical. These are direct relationship. Apart from these, there are 2 more kind of relationship what we could create That is many to many and one to one. Now, when you say this, when you say this, always expect the question on one to one and many to many. क्यों? देखो यार, उसको ना आपसे पहले उसने 50 इंटरव्यू लिए हैं, 50 लोगों ने उसको लुकअप रिलेशनशिप, मास्टर डिटेल रिलेशनशिप, डिफरेंस बिटवीन लुकअप, मास्टर डिटेल, हायरार्किकल रिलेशनशिप बता चुके हैं. आपसे वो क्या सुनना पसंद करेगा? बिकॉज यू आर द फर्स्ट पर्सन, प्रोबेबली ही इज सेइंग दैट देयर आर वन टू वन एंड मेनी टू मेनी. आप खुद सोचो, अगर आप मेरी जगह हो, आप इंटरव्यू ले रहे हो, आप क्या एक्सपेक्ट करोगे मुझसे? जो चीज मैं 50 बार सुन चुका हूँ वही आपसे भी सुन लूं, या कुछ नया जो आपने मुझे बताया? इसलिए अगर हम बता रहे हैं और बताना है कि वन टू वन और मेनी टू मेनी भी होता है, तो ऑलवेज एक्सपेक्ट द क्वेश्चन ऑन दिस. Always expect that interviewer will ask you the question on many to many and one to one relationship. तो अब उसमें क्वेश्चन ये बनता है कि why should I go for many to many and one to one? भाई मेरे पास में जब लुकअप है, एक्सटर्नल लुकअप है, मास्टर डिटेल है, हायरार्किकल है, तो मैं मेनी टू मेनी पे क्यों जाऊं? तो उसका रीजन क्या है वो मैं आपको बता दे रहा हूँ. ध्यान से सुने, लिखें सभी चीज, हर चीज लिखते चलिए प्लीज. देखिए, वी फाउंड दिस प्रॉब्लम. आपको इतना डिस्क्राइब नहीं करना है, आपको कितना डिस्क्राइब करना है वो मैं आंसर दे रहा हूँ. सो वी फाउंड दिस प्रॉब्लम दैट देयर वर टू ऑब्जेक्ट्स. हमको एक जगह एक प्रॉब्लम हुआ. क्या प्रॉब्लम हुआ? कहानी बता रहे हैं, ठीक है, हम लोग कहानी बता रहे हैं कि वी फाउंड वन प्रॉब्लम दैट देयर वर टू ऑब्जेक्ट्स. एक समय की बात है, देयर वाज अ टाइम व्हेन देयर वर टू ऑब्जेक्ट्स कॉल्ड एज बुक ऑब्जेक्ट एंड द ऑथर ऑब्जेक्ट. एक समय की बात है, दो ऑब्जेक्ट हुआ करती थी, ऑथर एंड द बुक, और दोनों ही बहुत ही नक्शड़े ऑब्जेक्ट है. नन ऑफ देम वांट टू बिकम अ चाइल्ड, बोथ ऑफ देम वांट टू बी अ पेरेंट ओनली. देयर वर टू ऑब्जेक्ट्स. एंड बिकॉज वेन एवर वी क्रिएट अ रिलेशनशिप, जब भी मैं रिलेशनशिप फील्ड क्रिएट करता हूँ, इधर आई क्रिएट लुकअप या मास्टर डिटेल, दोनों में एक ही फैक्ट है. दोनों में एक ही फैक्ट है. क्या? रिलेशनशिप एसोसिएशन शुड बी ऑलवेज वन टू मेनी. चाहे आप लुकअप रिलेशनशिप बनाइए, चाहे आप मास्टर डिटेल रिलेशनशिप बनाइए. सो इन बोथ ऑफ द केसेस दिस इज द फैक्ट कि ये द रिलेशनशिप एसोसिएशन मस्ट बी लाइक व्हाट? वन टू मेनी. वन इज द पेरेंट, मेनी इज द चाइल्ड. Now there were two objects. एक समय की बात है. There was a time there were two objects, book object and the author object. And both of them tends to be the parent. No one amongst these two want to become a child. Book wants to become the parent. Author wants to become the parent. अब if both of them wants to be the parent, who is going to be the child? भाई relationship तो तभी बनेगा when one of them is agreed to be the parent, second should be agreed to be the child. Then only I could form the relationship. Because relationships are created between parent and child. बट प्रॉब्लम हियर इज दैट कि यार दो ऑब्जेक्ट है, दोनों के दोनों पेरेंट बन रहे हैं. भाई साहब, किसी को चाइल्ड बनना ही नहीं है. तो इफ नन ऑफ देम एक्चुअली टेंड्स टू बिकम अ चाइल्ड, हाउ टू मैप द रिलेशनशिप? इन दिस केस वी विल गो विद द many to many relationship. In this case we will go with the many to many relationship. Now how to solve this problem? That is, we are going to see this. Let me take it by today because tomorrow you are having the holiday. कल छुट्टी रहेगी आपको. So let's complete this topic. Otherwise I was planning to split this into two parts, but let's complete this. So whenever there are two objects, both of them wants to become the parent, and we couldn't make any one of them to be the child. We could not directly map the relationship. नहीं कर सकते आप. You cannot directly map the lookup or the master detail, external lookup. Nothing. In this kind of problem, in this kind of use case, in this kind of scenario, there's only one option left with us, that is many to many. So if you know about many to many, then you could solve the problem. Otherwise आपसे नहीं जमेगा. ठीक है, आपसे नहीं जमेगा. और इतना डीप में कोई नहीं बताता. Let me tell you fact. हमारी भी ट्रेनिंग हुई है, but we haven't seen this. ये ट्रेनिंग पे नहीं बताया गया था. This we learn it by our own. And this we have learned it by our own. Chalo. So how to solve this problem? The problem is solved with many to many relationship. How to create a many to many relationship? I'm telling you this. So whenever at all I wanted to create a many to many relationship, the many to many relationships are always created with the help of another object called a junction object. Many to many relationships are always created with the help of another object called as junction object. We should create one more object. If I wanted to associate book and author, I should create one more object. This object is a common child. This object, what I have created over here, this object is actually, this object is a common child. This object is a common child for both parent, common child for both parent. And by the way, this object is called as, this object is called as junction object. This object is called as junction object. यही है वो ऑब्जेक्ट जो कहलाता है जंक्शन ऑब्जेक्ट. So many to many relationships are always created with the help of a third object. This third object is the common child for both parent. This object, this third object is actually associated with book. ये book के साथ भी associated है, ठीक है? And this object is even associated with author. This object is also associated with the author. This object is associated with both of the parent. ये दोनों parents के साथ associated है. कौन सी रिलेशनशिप में, लुकअप या मास्टर में बताता हूँ आपको. भाई एसोसिएटेड है तो लुकअप रिलेशनशिप होगी, रिलेशनशिप है तो कौन सी रिलेशनशिप. सो एक एक करके समझेंगे हम सब चीजें. तो दिस ऑब्जेक्ट इज एसोसिएटेड विद, लेट मी गिव द नेम आल्सो. एक नाम भी तो जरूरी, ऑब्जेक्ट बना रहा हूँ तो नाम भी जरूरी है. लेट मी गिव दिस नेम एज टू बी द ऑब्जेक्ट नेम. चलो दोनों से एसोसिएटेड, इसलिए इसका नाम देता हूँ मैं बुक ऑथर. The name of this object is book author object. The name of this object is book author object. ठीक है. It merely have two fields. कितनी भी fields रह सकती हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. बट चलो मैं सिर्फ ज्यादा complicated नहीं करना चाहता. That's why I'm creating only two fields inside this. दो fields रख रहा हूँ यहाँ पे. ठीक है. पहला field का नाम है book ID. ठीक है. book ID. And the second field's name is actually, second field name is author ID. Author ID. ठीक है. Second field name is author ID. There are two fields inside this, book ID and the author ID. ठीक है. book ID and the author ID. चलो अभी कैसे काम करता है, let me show you that. See, the first is the book 001. book ID, पहली book ID लेता हूँ. पहली book ID, the number one book ID is 001. The first book ID is 001. ठीक है. चलो अभी फॉन्ट छोटा रखा है, बाद में देखता हूँ बड़ा करना लगा तो कर लो. 001 के लिए ऑथर कौन कौन से हैं? 001 का पहला ऑथर कौन है? The first author for 001 is 203, Swati Kumari. 203. Again, the next entry. The next entry is also 001. Same book, Java programming. First author was 203, Swati Kumari. The second author is 205. आपको ऊपर की मार्किंग पे ध्यान रखो. The second author is Akash. Akash is 205. ठीक है. तो 001 के लिए एक यूनिक एंट्री 203. 001 के लिए अगेन यूनिक एंट्री. ठीक है. 205. The next book is 002. 002. 002 is your software testing. Software testing has been written with 201 Ravi Kumar, and this book 002 has also been written. With the second is what, 204 Anil Kumar. ठीक है. The next book is my 003. 003 is the electrical engineering. There's only one author, Suresh Tripathi, 202. Suresh Tripathi, 202. Then we have another book, is 004. 004. Now this 004 has been written. This 004 has been written. Who has written this 004? Oops concept. There are two authors, Anil Kumar and Akash, 204 and 205. 204. And for 004 once again, 004 once again, 205. 205. Then we have last book in the stack, that is 005. So 005, he has been written Apex programming. There's only one author, 205. Okay, that's it. So this is what your common child. Common child will store the book. Common child will store the IDs of both of the object, both of the parent. इसके अलावा कोई फील्ड रखना है जैसे नेम वेम, आप रख सकते हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है उसमें. ISBN नंबर, ऑथर आईडी, कुछ ऑथर का लोकेशन आप रख सकते हो, उसमें कोई इश्यू नहीं. बट मोस्टली द इम्पोर्टेंटली कि इसमें दो ही फील्ड्स हैं और दो ही काफी. ठीक है. अब देखो द काइंड ऑफ रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन दिस योर जंक्शन ऑब्जेक्ट and to the parent object कौन सी रहती है. What is the kind of relationship? What is the type of relationship between these two? The relationship type is always master detail. these two objects, the junction object and the parent object, the junction object and the parent object, they are always associated in master detail. Why master detail? Why master detail? I'm going to tell you that. Master detail relationship. Here also, master detail relationship. Why? See, in the master detail relationship there is a feature. अभी हमने डिस्कस किया है कि मास्टर डेटा रिलेशनशिप में एक फीचर होता है कि if you delete the parent, your child record is also get deleted. Whenever the parent record is deleted, the child also get deleted. Let me show you that. Yeah. For the candidate we created this, let me see. So candidate, who is the parent? Let me bring that parent over here. Candidate के लिए position. Now see, Samir is the candidate. Samir has applied for software testing manual. That means there is a position. See, position is the parent. Okay. If I open this software testing manual, I mean the parent record, और मैं इसको delete कर देता हूँ. If I delete this, तो parent से चला गया. अब candidate का क्या हुआ? Candidate का क्या हुआ? Let me refresh this. See, candidate is also deleted. So whenever you delete the parent record, the child that was associated to that record will also be get deleted. ठीक है? ये याद रखो. तो ये फंक्शनैलिटी आपको किस में मिलती है? दिस ये फंक्शनैलिटी यू गेट इट इनसाइड दी मास्टर डिटेल ओनली. और जब आप उसको रीस्टोर करते हो, इट विल बी रीस्टोर. देखो रीस्टोर भी हो जाता है. तो ये होता है कैस्केड डिलीट बोलते हैं इसको. कैस्केड डिलीट मतलब एक साथ डिलीट करना. तो ये फंक्शनैलिटी कि मास्टर डिटेल में ही ये फंक्शनैलिटी आती है. आपकी लुकअप में ये फंक्शनैलिटी लिखनी है. लुकअप में अगर आप पेरेंट को डिलीट करते हो तो ओनली द पेरेंट इज डिलीटेड, चाइल्ड डिलीट नहीं होता है. But here, if you delete the parent is gone. In fact, the associated child is also gone. तो ये functionality आपको कहाँ मिलती है? In case of master detail relationship. Now here I intentionally want this functionality. देखो कैसा है. For example, अब master detail ही क्यों? वो मैं reason आपको समझा रहा हूँ. For example, let me show you. This color. For example, Java programming. Java programming record I have deleted. Now there is no record called as Java programming. Java programming record नहीं है. अगर जावा प्रोग्रामिंग यहां से डिलीट हुआ है, पेरेंट से डिलीट हुआ है, या फिर प्रोबेबली लाइक अनिल कुमार आई हैव डिलीटेड दिस रिकॉर्ड, आई हैव डिलीटेड फ्रॉम द ऑथर. दीज टू आर द पेरेंट. किसी में से भी डिलीट हो सकता है रिकॉर्ड. इन केस ऑफ बुक से एक जावा प्रोग्रामिंग रिकॉर्ड डिलीट हुआ है. ऑथर से अनिल कुमार रिकॉर्ड हैज बीन डिलीटेड. तो ये जंक्शन ऑब्जेक्ट से भी डिलीट होना चाहिए. क्यों होना चाहिए बताइए? क्योंकि देखिए, अगर 001 was the idea of Java programming. Now Java programming record has been deleted. Parent से ये record delete हो गया. अगर child में अगर अभी भी 001 दिख रहा है, तो this is one of the ambiguity. Now if I अगर child में 001 आज भी दिख रहा है और Java 001 के against में कोई record है ही नहीं, this is something called as null ID. So this particular 001, this particular record 001 is referring to a location, is referring to a record which is actually not present. तो अगर आपसे कल पूछे कोई कि 001 यहाँ पे दिख रहा है, यहाँ तो दिख ही नहीं रहा है, आप क्या जवाब दोगे? यहाँ ऑब्वियसली 001 इज नॉट देयर. अगर यहाँ नहीं तो यहाँ क्यों है फिर? अगर 204 यहाँ से डिलीट हो चुका है, 204 यहाँ से डिलीट हो चुका है, तो 204 यहाँ पे क्यों दिख रहा है? यहाँ पे क्यों दिख रहा है 204? 204 मस्ट ऑल्सो बी डिलीटेड. जब यहाँ ही नहीं है तो यहाँ पे क्यों दिख रहा है? तो टू हैव दिस फंक्शनैलिटी ऑफ कैस्केड डिलीशन, to have this functionality of cascade deletion, कैसे कि अगर आप डिलीट करते हो 001, तो 001 के अगेंस्ट में जितने भी रिकॉर्ड्स होंगे यहाँ पे, that all record will be get deleted. ये पूरा डिलीट हो जाएगा आपका. this whole will be get deleted. ये डिलीट हो जाएगा आपका पूरा. ठीक है. And if you delete this 204, तो 204 के अगेंस्ट में जितने भी रिकॉर्ड है, ये रिकॉर्ड है 204 के अगेंस्ट में, ये भी डिलीट हो जाएगा. ये पूरा डिलीट हो जाएगा. पूरा 204 के अगेंस्ट में जो भी रिकॉर्ड है, this whole record will get deleted. ये पूरा डिलीट हो जाएगा. दिस विल आल्सो गेट डिलीटेड. ये डिलीट होगा, ये डिलीट हो जाएगा और ये भी डिलीट हो जाएगा. नाउ इट विल ओनली कंटेन 002 201. 002 है यहाँ पे, यस है. 002 के साथ में क्या 201 है यहाँ पे, यस ऑफ कोर्स है. इट विल कंटेन 004 एंड 005. 004 है यहाँ पे, यस है. 005 है यहाँ पे, यस है. ठीक है. 205 है यहाँ पे, यस है. ठीक है, तो the record that are present over here and here, they are only going to reflect it. They are only going to reflect it. Now, because I want to have that functionality, I wanted to have that functionality कि अगर आप पेरेंट से कुछ रिकॉर्ड डिलीट करते हो, चाहे बुक ऑब्जेक्ट है, चाहे ऑथर ऑब्जेक्ट है, इट मस्ट बी, यहाँ पे रिडंडेंट एंट्रीज नहीं होनी चाहिए, यहाँ पे नल पॉइंटर एक्सेप्शंस नहीं आने चाहिए. दैट इज व्हाई आई वांटेड टू हैव अ कैस्केड डिलीशन फंक्शनैलिटी, कि कैस्केड मतलब साइमल्टेनियसली डिलीट होना चाहिए. अगर आप पेरेंट से डिलीट कर रहे हो तो चाइल्ड से भी वो रिकॉर्ड हट जाना चाहिए. बिकॉज जंक्शन ऑब्जेक्ट इज अ चाइल्ड ऑब्जेक्ट, तो आई डोंट वांटेड टू हैव दैट पर्टिकुलर रिकॉर्ड आईडी यहाँ पे. So I wanted to implement a cascade deletion. That is why junction objects are always by default. Junction objects are always, junction objects are always associated with the parent in terms of master detail relationship. In terms of master detail relationship. Understood? This is what the junction object is. This is what the junction object is. ठीक है. नाउ मैं थ्योरी कवर करके दे रहा हूँ एंड यू नीड टू इम्प्लीमेंट दैट. मैं आपको एग्जांपल दिखा देता हूँ उसका, बट यू नीड टू इम्प्लीमेंट दिस. सो मेनी टू मेनी रिलेशनशिप जब भी हम इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं, सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हाई शुड वी गो फॉर टू मेनी टू मेनी रिलेशनशिप. आप तब इम्प्लीमेंट करते हो देन व्हेन देयर आर टू ऑब्जेक्ट्स and both of them appears to be the parent. Both of them appears to be the parent. That is, we cannot make any one of them to be the child. आप दोनों में से किसी एक को child बना ही नहीं सकते. And if you cannot make the child, how could you create the relationship? So this is your problem. This is the real time scenario. और यही आपको इंटरव्यू में बताना है कि whenever this is a case that there are two objects and we at all wanted to create a relationship between these two, but the problem is both of them appears to be the parent. That means both of them are acting like a parent and no one wants us to become a child. But see, this is a compulsory thing. If at all I wanted to create a relationship, one should be the parent, the another should be the child. Here the problem is that no one could become. We cannot make the first object to be the child. Neither we could make the second object to be the child, nor, right? So how to form that relationship? So this kind of problem is being tackled with the many to many, because in the many to many, we actually create another object, a third object. And this third object is the common child for both parent. For both parent. और ये दो ही parent रह सकते हैं. अगर आपसे पूछे कि तीसरा रह सकता है कि नहीं, क्यों नहीं? Because in case of master detail relationship, the child could be associated with two parents only. This is also one of the governor limit. Maximum two parents. Because this junction object is associated with many to many or master detail में. और master detail में restriction है. The child could be associated with only two parents, not more than that. हो गए ना दो parent already हो गए. तो ये भी अगर क्वेश्चन आता है तो आंसर इज स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड नो. हाँ, इसको मैं इस जंक्शन ऑब्जेक्ट को मैं लुकअप में किसी के भी साथ और 40 ऑब्जेक्ट के साथ लुकअप में एसोसिएट कर सकता हूँ. वो एक अलग कहानी होगी, वो अलग कहानी, वो इसके रिश्तेदार है. बट अगर बात चल रही है इन दोनों की चल रही है, तो भाई इट कुड बी एसोसिएटेड विद ओनली टू पेरेंट्स, नॉट मोर देन दैट. एक माँ है तो दूसरा बाप है, बस. तीसरा कोई नहीं आएगा यहाँ पे. ठीक है, तो गो विद दिस इज वन ऑफ द वेरी एसेंशियल थिंग. ये बहुत एसेंशियल है. और याद रखो, आप जब बोल रहे हो ना मेनी टू मेनी और वन टू वन, ऑलवेज एक्सपेक्ट द क्वेश्चन टू बी आस्क्ड ऑन दिस टू रिलेशनशिप, क्योंकि ये बोलने वाले बहुत कम होते हैं. ठीक है, तो दिस इज द वे टू, I mean, this is the reason why, first of all, to go to many. Then whatever the considerations over there as some actually has been written up. इस theory के साथ चाहिए. Many to many is formed by creating a junction object which acts like a common child. A junction object is always associated with the master detail. That means while deleting the parent, the junction object record is also get deleted. Something like that. So go with this entire theory. Let me show you something. इसका प्रैक्टिकल वर्जन में दिखाता हूँ. एक सेकंड, लेट मी जस्ट कॉपी. क्या कौन सी बैच थी यार वो? probably 103 103 Let me try with this credentials. एक सेकंड में दिखा रहा हूँ सब. आज के लिए बनाया था मैंने, रिलेशनशिप में कोई याद भी नहीं है. Let me see with few of the credentials. So then it will be just give me a second. एनीवेज अभी तो मुझे नहीं मिल रहा है, मैं आई ट्राई टू सी, कोई बैच के लिए बनाया है मैंने वो तो। सो आपके लिए भी बुक और ऑथर्स तो मैंने ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट कर दिए थे। नाउ आई वांटेड ऑल ऑफ यू टू क्रिएट दिस बुक ऑथर ऑब्जेक्ट, है ना, बुक ऑथर ऑब्जेक्ट बनाओ, एक नया ऑब्जेक्ट बनाओ, द ऑब्जेक्ट लाइक दिस, एंड देन क्रिएट द रिलेशनशिप। ठीक है, बुक और ऑथर ऑब्जेक्ट आपके पास ऑलरेडी क्रिएटेड है, तो उसमें फील्ड्स नहीं क्रिएट की, ऑफ कोर्स नेम और आईडी दो फील्ड्स ही होगी, तो प्राइस और पेजेस हियर एंड द लोकेशन ओवर देयर। तो ये सब क्रिएट करो एंड देन क्रिएट दिस रिलेशनशिप। एक और ऑब्जेक्ट बनाओ बुक ऑथर ऑब्जेक्ट नाम से, एंड देन एसोसिएट दिस ऑब्जेक्ट विद बुक ऑब्जेक्ट एंड ऑथर ऑब्जेक्ट, एंड देन ट्राई टू इम्प्लीमेंट द रिलेशनशिप। ये करके बताओ मुझको, अगर मुझे मिलता है तो मैं स्क्रीनशॉट आज शेयर कर देता हूँ आपसे। ठीक है, कल आपकी क्लास नहीं रहेगी, टुमारो यू हैव दिस हॉलीडे, टुडे इज व्हाट, वेडनेसडे, थर्सडे, so we'll meet on the day after tomorrow, that is Friday.